In 2012, Davie, Canada's most experienced, highest capacity, and largest shipbuilder, came under new ownership, with new management, new investment, new projects, and a new way of working.
La relance du chantier maritime Davie a permis de sauvegarder un héritage plus que centenaire en construction navale, un savoir-faire important et surtout des centaines d'emplois en région. Et ça, c'est une fierté pour notre gouvernement.
Since then, hundreds of millions of dollars of private and foreign direct investment has been made at Davie, including new, cutting-edge technologies, which have cemented its place as North America's leading shipbuilder. The company is now successfully delivering on a wide range of projects for both private clients as well as the provincial and federal governments. In the short 4 years since Davie was restarted, its 1,300 employees have accomplished significant success, earning the company the prestigious North American Shipyard of the Year Award.
Today, I want to fully acknowledge the accomplishment of a new leadership at the shipyard. Where others have failed, they are meeting success. This is raising new hope for all of us who have always been dreaming of a great future for Davie, the largest Canadian shipyard.
Recent projects where Davie has demonstrated its world-class capabilities include the construction of 3 of the most complex vessels ever to be built in North America, highly advanced, multi-purpose offshore vessels for both civilian and military use. The largest ships built in Canada in 25 years since Davie last set the record. Built for export for operation in the harsh environments offshore Norway, the VS 4220 design ships have received international recognition. The vessels are of a similar design to those used by navies and coast guards worldwide, such as the UK, US, Australia, and most European countries. Davie is also setting the standard for new, environmentally conscious ships throughout the continent with the construction of North America's first ever dual-fuel LNG ferries. Once delivered, these ferries will be the most advanced passenger vessels ever built in North America, not only due to their LNG fuel systems, but also their capability to operate year-round in ice-covered sea conditions, as well as their dynamic positioning capability for advanced maneuverability. Davie's significant capacity allows it to perform multiple shipbuilding and ship repair projects simultaneously. With that, Davie has developed into a Canadian Centre of Excellence for the repair and refit of the federal fleet, taking a lead role in ensuring Canada's largest icebreakers can perform. Over the past couple of years, Davie has refitted and upgraded several of the Canadian Coast Guard's most important ships. Similarly, Davie also provides commercial ship owners with an important repair and maintenance facility on the St. Lawrence River. With Davie's upgraded large-scale facilities, fully operational status, expert management team, and capacity to take on new work, Davie's proposal for a fast-track, low-risk, and economical solution for the Royal Canadian Navy's next Auxiliary Oiler Replenishment Ship could not have come at a better time. Shortly after the elections, in November 2015, the Canadian government, under the newly elected Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, made its first major decision in power to arm the Royal Canadian Navy with a new, much-needed Auxiliary Oiler Replenishment Ship to be built at Davie, Canada's largest, most experienced, and highest capacity shipbuilder.
To talk about a broad range of issues and really to launch a new era of collaboration and cooperation between Ottawa and Quebec City. The fact is we have a broad range of issues that touch not just Quebecers but all Canadians.
As part of a concerted effort to arm the Royal Canadian Navy and Canadian Coast Guard with the tools they urgently need, Davie Shipbuilding and Federal Fleet Services deployed significant resources over the past 3 years, working with partners and suppliers across Canada to plan, design, and engineer the conversion of commercial vessels. The first of these projects is a modern, European-built container ship into an auxiliary oiler replenishment vessel for the Royal Canadian Navy, the Resolve Class Auxiliary Oiler Replenishment Ship. Over the next years, we will be following the project in a series of short videos, sharing our pride as we deliver the ships and services vital to Canada's safety, security, and economy. This is Project Resolve. This isn't the first time that container ships have been converted for use as naval auxiliary vessels. In fact, several Allied navies have a number of container ship conversions within their fleets, including the U.S. Navy and the Royal Navy. These ships have served in every major operation over the last 3 decades, including the Gulf War, Bosnia and Kosovo, Sierra Leone, the Iraq War, and on several humanitarian and disaster relief operations. Today, these ships remain in active service and play a key role within our Allied navies. The container ship which is being converted, Asterix, is a modern vessel built in a German shipyard in 2010, known for its superior quality. The 182-meter by 20-meter vessel is a similar size and displacement to the existing AOR class. In fact, it is just a little wider, which will provide extra stability. Built to carry over 1,700 containers at over 20 knots, the ship is built for speed and stability, making it a perfect conversion candidate. The construction of Canada's largest naval vessels is something which is deeply rooted at Davie. Having pioneered Canada's last naval supply ship design, as well as being the builders for all of Canada's largest existing combat vessels, the Tribal-class destroyers, as well as several of Canada's existing City-class frigates. Over the next year and a half, the vessel will be totally transformed. The first scope of work involves the removal of the existing wheelhouse and container guide structures. Afterwards, the ship will be ready for installation of the new accommodation, fuel tanks, tween decks, dry cargo storage areas, cranes, helicopter facilities, and replenishment at sea systems.
Work has been underway for 3 months. The ship is just about to go into dry dock. A huge amount of work has been happening below decks to get it ready for fuel tanks. And we're on track, we're on budget, and we're meeting scope, and we're quite happy with the progress.
With engineering and design completed, work is well underway on board Asterix. The first major phase is now nearing completion. That includes the removal of the internal container guide structures, as well as the removal of the existing accommodation.
Here, you can see the cut lines on deck 5 on both sides here as the workers progress and prepare for the lifting off of the old, and in parallel are building the new.
All equipment on board has been removed and all cables have been labeled for ease of reinstallation later on. Despite only being a few years old, the vessel's engines have already been overhauled to bring them back into an entirely as-new condition.
We are at the Champlain Dry Dock at Davie, and we're awaiting the arrival of motor vessel Asterix. It's the exciting next phase of its conversion into a Resolve class AOR. It's going to be in this dry dock, which is Canada's largest dry dock, in 2 days, and will remain in the dry dock for the next 14 months while we complete the conversion.
With the ship having entered the dry dock, the new fuel tanks will be installed and other steelwork will commence elsewhere on the ship. While work is underway at the shipyard, suppliers are working to deliver the components, machinery and equipment in line with the fast-track delivery schedule required by the Government of Canada. Davie's partnership with the world's leading supplier of offshore accommodation systems will mean that the Royal Canadian Navy are equipped with the highest standards and technology on board. Almaco adopts an efficient, modular approach to the construction and integration of the vessel's accommodation, which fits perfectly with the fast-track requirements of the project.
We're quite happy at Project Resolve to have an outstanding team of Canadian suppliers. In fact, our Tier 1 suppliers go from Vancouver to Nova Scotia. They include OSI, who's doing Canada's first integrated bridge system, L3 Maps of Montreal, and Hepburn of Toronto, who are doing the RAS equipment, and a multitude of subcontractors going from Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, Alberta, and British Columbia.
The program will reap benefits to companies across Canada.
You know, I've been fortunate. I've been involved with not only the staff but the union memberships across many shipyards across Canada and also in North America. And I have to say that the can-do attitude of the workforce here is second to none. They've got a tremendous work ethic. The workforce is really something that everybody should be quite proud of here.
Shipbuilding is in the blood of the local community. Davie employs more skilled shipbuilders than any other shipbuilder in Canada, and Davie's workforce consists of many second, third, and fourth generation shipbuilders from the region. In Canada, this vast pool of seasoned, skilled shipbuilders is unique to Quebec City.
The project is going really well, health and safety-wise and production-wise also. Everything goes according to plan, and it's even better, I would say.
Yeah, this project it's an exciting one. It's a big one. I think it's the biggest one we got here at Davie. So for young people like me, it's a good project.
Well, they're setting things up to be very successful in terms of high levels of pre-outfit on the steel sections in the shop prior to going to the ship, which bodes well for being a highly successful project.
For us, for the young guys work in the Davie shipyard for learn something new. It's what I think. It's the ambience. It's why I think the ambience here is very good. When it's hard and difficult to do this job very well, we go to see the foreman, and the foreman show you what to do.
Yes, for sure. With all my guys there, they all the faith and they all proud of that. You see that in their eyes each morning, and I love that. I love that part. It's the future of Davie. It's only that. It's the last contract, the big contract we have now. We have to make. We are proud people, proud worker on that, and that's all mean for me.
Once completed, the Resolve Class AOR will be able to perform a wide range of primary and secondary functions. The primary function of the Resolve Class AOR is to provide replenishment at sea to the Canadian Navy for fuels and other liquids for 2 ships simultaneously, one on each side, while underway at high speed. The Resolve Class AOR uses its 4 NATO Stream-type replenishment at sea masts for this purpose. The replenishment at sea of dry cargo and ammunition can also be performed using the standard tension replenishment alongside masts, as well as by vertical replenishment using the ship's 2 CH-148 Cyclone or Chinook helicopters. The new large accommodation block houses the ship's navigational bridge, cabins, hospital, command centers, mess rooms, and recreational facilities. The ship will be fitted with the latest in integrated navigation and tactical systems and is fitted ready to receive a range of systems, such as the Phalanx close-in weapon system. Asterix is designed to accommodate a crew of up to 150 personnel, with the option to increase the passenger on board number to 296 for humanitarian and disaster relief or rescue operations, making use of the ship's large dormitories. With the extensive aviation facilities on board, as well as the 8 assorted small craft which can be rapidly deployed, and the large humanitarian processing area and large hospital, the vessel has been designed with Canada's future humanitarian roles in mind. The Resolve-class AOR also brings a host of new technologies to the Royal Canadian Navy. For example, the vessel will be the first and only ship within the Royal Canadian Navy fleet to be fitted with dynamic positioning, allowing it to hold position while at sea without anchors. Using a retractable thruster, this also provides redundancy and provides the ship with a totally separate secondary form of propulsion in case it should ever be needed. The Project Resolve program is also setting another first for the Canadian Federal Fleet. Instead of the ship being purchased by the Government of Canada from the outset, it has been privately financed as a provision of services agreement or public-private partnership, whereby Federal Fleet Services, the owners and operators of the vessel, will provide the vessel, fully crewed and operated, as a service to the Royal Canadian Navy. That means no cost to Canadian taxpayers until the ship is delivered, and no capital expenditure for Canada unless it opts to buy the vessel later on. Though unique to the Royal Canadian Navy, much like any public-private partnership, Federal Fleet Services will operate the ship. This means going one step further than traditional in-service support by providing all marine operations management for the vessel. That includes everything from navigating the vessel, certification and compliance, to repair and maintenance, logistics and procurement, as well as catering and hospitality services on board.
I think what we see developing in Federal Fleet Services with our close association with Auxiliary Davie, as well as our other prime subcontractors, is a pride in the workmanship, a pride in being part of a large program, and part of being something new and innovative. I think in the community, the marine community in Canada, there's been a large anticipation under the NSPS program to see new ships in the water for the Canadian Navy and also for the Canadian Coast Guard. Unfortunately, due to programmatics and delays in delivering these programs, there's a disappointment in the industry around the industry being able to deliver. What Federal Fleet Services is offering through the conversion of the IAOR is an actual vessel that will be out there at the end of 2017 and providing a service. And it will bring a certain pride in the industry, a pride in the shipyard, the fact that we can deliver as promised. We can deliver on our programs, and Canadian industry can build ships or convert ships in Canada. This program can be a real game changer. It can open the eyes of the public and the taxpayer, as well as the political folks in Ottawa, about how things can be done. And the commitment that Auxiliary Davie is demonstrating through the pride of the workforce, through the capability of the leadership here at Auxiliary Davie, is truly going to be something remarkable for Canada to see.
Watch out for the next episode on Canada's next naval supply ship at www.federalfleet.ca.